You know something? I'm trying to keep my cool. I really, really am, you know. We're not, vacation is not far off, and I haven't had a vacation in quite a long time. And I really, really wanted to end this week on a high note, and then this man, Phil Jackson, sits there and contaminates my mind, contaminates the city of New York City. This man is an unmitigated disaster as an executive. We all know that he's one of, if not the greatest coach ever. We have to give him credit and deference in regards to that. He's an 11-time champion. I am not here to question that man's basketball knowledge. He has forgotten more basketball than most of us know. I totally understand and respect that.
He's apparently forgot a lot of basketball, period.
But as an executive, as a leader, it's not that he's forgotten, Max, you're wrong about that. It's that he doesn't care because it pales in comparison to his agendas and his ego. And that's really what's going on here. Kristaps Porzingis doesn't show up for an exit interview. Why? Because he looks at Phil Jackson messing with Carmelo Anthony throughout the season. He knows that Phil Jackson is not coming to road games. He knows that Phil Jackson is messing with the coaches, trying to implement a system they barely even know and the players are barely even interested in. They know all of this stuff. You don't have to be 30 or 40 years of age with 10-plus years in this business to know what's going on. And so as a result, Porzingis said, enough's enough. The dysfunctionality that has been reeking through this franchise or sifting through this franchise like a virus, it's enough. I can't sit back and take it anymore. Through his brother Giannis, who obviously is his guy, even though Andy Miller is his representative, Giannis works for Andy Miller, and the only reason he works for Andy Miller because that's the only reason Andy Miller was going to get Porzingis as his client. So with all of that being said, here is what we have. We have a situation where Phil Jackson doesn't give 2 cents about the Knicks and their success. He is 80-166 as the executive for the New York Knicks in year 4, and he is talking about starting over. You can't make this stuff up. And so now I have to think about a remedy because I'm looking at some of the moves, and Max, I know because we both got the list in front of us in terms of the moves that Phil Jackson has made. I'm going to do you a favor, my brother. I'm going to leave it to you because if it comes out of my mouth, and I sit up there and I literally articulate the stuff that this man has done since he has been the executive of the New York Knicks, I'm going to lose my mind. I ain't going to be able to do the rest of the show. I'm telling you right now. It comes out of my mouth. I'm not going to be able to control myself because I'm barely able to right now. But I will tell you this. I have a radio show in New York and L.A. and nationwide on ESPN radio. And I promise all of y'all you think I'm going to go off now? It's just some stuff that I don't even know what I'm going to do. Come 1 o'clock Eastern time, 10 o'clock West Coast time. I don't know what I'm going to do when I'm talking about this man, but I do know I'm going to say this. It is time that we turn our attention to Mr. James Dolan. And here's why. The only reason Phil is there is because he provides cover for a man who is going to have to deal with Knicks fans protesting outside of Madison Square Garden because they wanted Dolan gone because of how inept this franchise was. Dolan hires Phil Jackson, and then the only time we have heard James Dolan's name since was when the Charles Oakley scandal went down, when he got into that beef with the security at Madison Square Garden because he was going at Dolan. That's the only time we've spoken about Dolan ever since he hired Phil Jackson. All the attention has been given to Phil. It has provided cover for Dolan. Maybe if we strip that cover off Dolan, he will sit there and get rid of Phil. That is our only hope at this moment in time. I really didn't want to go here. I really didn't. I'm going to try to keep my composure. But just looking at the list, let me just throw out a few moves that Phil Jackson made. I'm not going to tell you who he moved away. I'm going to tell you who he acquired since he arrived in 2014. Jose Calderon, Samuel Dallenberg, Shane Larkin, Wayne Ellington, 2 second-round picks.
That's a Tyson Chandler move.
Drafted a Cleanthony early, and
I didn't mind that.
All right, I didn't mind that at all. Okay. Quincy AC and Travis Outlaw. Let's continue forward. Lou Edmondson, Alex Girk, Cavs second-round pick, Lance Thomas. By the way, Lance Thomas, the numbers that he's getting paid right now, Lance Thomas, $6 million, $6.5 million, $7.1 million, $7.5 million. Let me finish. Okay, let's go to wait for Mark's talking about that. All right, he drafted Kristaps Porzingis, right? Jerrion Grant, Willie Hernan Gomez. I like him though.
Gomez is a good acquisition.
I liked him. Joakim Noah, 4 years, $72.5 million deal. Courtney Lee, 4 year, $48 million deal. And by the way, his very first move as the executive was to sign Lamar Odom, who was on crack.
Phil or Lamar? Phil or Lamar?
I don't mean to be. Listen, I love Lamar Odom, the person, and God bless him. We're wishing nothing but the best. But metaphorically speaking, he signed his first move as the executive of the New York Knicks was to sign Lamar Odom, who was on crack.
Well, how about this, Stephen A?
Look, man, I mean, you got to be kidding me.